If anyone is starting with, let's suppose, 10 lakhs of capital, the first and foremost objective of anyone trading in derivative market, somehow try to survive in the market. Try to gain that confidence on the market that we are able to protect our capital in the market. It comes with a lot of practice and it comes with having an edge.
Fortunately, my first trade went up 100% in like 4 weeks. And I've never seen that in my life before because I was trading Reliance and all the A names, future names. वो 5-10% movement आता था उनमें. So for me, the leverage was playing small names that move really fast in a very small amount of time.
मैकेनिकल के अपने challenges है. तो अगर आप options कर रहे हो, तो then you can go for mechanical. I definitely advise. बट इक्विटीज़ को सक्सेसफुली पिछले 100 साल में हमने सक्सेसफुल ट्रेडर्स को डिस्क्रिशनरी करते देखा है और मुझे लगता है अगले 100 साल भी इक्विटीज़ को सक्सेसफुली डिस्क्रिशनरी किया जा सकता है.
What's up everyone, Praful here and welcome to yet another episode of Breakfast with Traders. Breakfast with Traders के हर एपिसोड में मैं आपको एक ट्रेडर के साथ बात करता हुआ नजर आता था, बट आज एक नहीं, दो नहीं, हम 4 लोगों के साथ एक साथ डिस्कस कर रहे हैं here in Goa. I'm at a stock market conclave and during the event itself, we had the opportunity to have a panel discussion with 4 of the traders, and out of which one was an options trader, another was a momentum investor, another was an equity momentum trader and another was a stock trader. So in चारों के साथ हमने एक panel discussion किए and the theme of the topic was how to scale up a small trading account. You'll get a lot of nuggets on what are the mistakes to avoid when scaling up a small trading account. So watch the video till the end and I'm sure you're going to love this. Good evening guys. We have this show called Breakfast with Traders, sponsored by Groww. How many of you guys know this? How many of you have watched this? The last episode was with Vivek Bhai himself. So for the first time, we are having this show in an event and thanks Vivek Bhai for allowing us to do this.
No problem.
So we have an options trader and we have momentum trader and we have Mark Minervini style equity trader and we have momentum investor here. So I thought, what's a better opportunity than to get all these traders together and ask some generic questions. जो सवाल strategy specific नहीं है, जो सवाल derivatives या equity specific नहीं है, but generally as a trader progresses in his trading journey, account को grow करने के time पे उनको क्या क्या दिक्कतें आती है, उनके psychology हर point of time पे कैसे बदलना होगा, and every time your account grows, the markets will demand you to level up. So the theme of this discussion, this panel discussion, is about growing a small account into a big account and what are the steps that these people took and what would be their advice to anybody who starts with a small account. Shall we start? So welcome everyone.
Hi.
So my first question. So generally जब एक बंदा एक छोटा कैपिटल से ट्रेड करता है तो वहाँ पे उसका गोल रहेगा टू एग्रेसिवली कंपाउंड दैट कैपिटल. तो वहाँ पे कभी कभी ये हो जाता है कि रिस्क मैनेजमेंट चूक जाती है. तो हाउ कैन अ पर्सन, हाउ कैन अ न्यूबी ट्रेडर स्ट्राइक अ बैलेंस बिटवीन हैविंग अ स्ट्रिंजेंट रिस्क मैनेजमेंट एंड ट्राइंग टू कंपाउंड दैट अकाउंट एग्रेसिवली? द क्वेश्चन I'd start with Vivek Bhai first.
Okay, so because I run a prop trading desk, so I'll give you maybe a different perspective considering other people's are large scale traders now and I'm personally more of an investor now. So when I started trading, I started with 10 lakh as a base capital because that was my stop loss capital. If I lose that money, I'll go back to my job. That was the base. Now with only 10 lakh, you want to maximize the opportunities by maximizing the leverage, right? So first thing first was to find an asset which can give me maximum leverage, right? And that time commodities was the asset which gave me maximum leverage. So I started with commodities trading and tried to convert that 10 lakh into some money. Although the story is different that I lost 2.5 lakh in first 6 months, you remember we discussed in that interview. But that one trade, which was a calendar spread trade in natural gas, made me a hero for myself. First thing first is we have to become our own hero. क्योंकि हम अपना हीरो नहीं बनेंगे, if you are not confident about our abilities, then you can't build a business around yourself. And I always wanted to build business around me. I was never a trader that I want to be trader like Ashwin Porwal. I was never like that. I was like, I need to build more than average better traders in my trading desk, and that's how we succeeded. So for me, the journey is leveraging using the high leverage instrument. Calendar spread always was also high leverage because exchange used to give margin benefit. So if you are buying one expiry contract and selling other expiry contract, the margin benefit used to be very high.
But Vivek bhai, leverage is a double-edged sword, and leverage must only be used by professionals. But when a person starts, his risk management skills are not on point, so he'd more likely to get burnt using that leverage than become a hero. In your case, you made it, it became a hero for you, but for 99.9% of the people, most of the times like they'd not survive that. So but what would be other options apart from using something which kind of levers your money?
Maybe other people can answer that, because as I said, my path was very different. I went back to Calcutta with a very clear agenda that I have to build a trading desk. I was full-time into it. I was a professional. I wanted to build professionals. So my case was slightly different. I mean, you can take input from other people on that.
Manas bhai, you are a hardcore trader, right? You started off just to become trader. And how did you scale up? And let's say if you look back at your journey and with all the benefit of hindsight, do you think your approach was good or you would have done it slightly differently?
Okay, so earlier I was, like in my initial years, I was trading anything and everything. And it was like all the A names, Reliance, and like all the liquid names. And I had bad risk management also. Then I mean, someone gave me the book, Mark Minervini's first book, that I think many have recommended, even Sir has recommended. So there was a concept of free float, which is small caps. So for me, okay, so when I tried the principle, fortunately, my first trade went up 100% in like 4 weeks. And I've never seen that in my life before, because I was trading Reliance and all the A names, future names. वो 5-10% movement आता था उनमें. वो मेरी पहली trade, because of the new principles that I had applied, went up 100%. So for me, the leverage was playing small names that move really, really fast in a very small amount of time. That's also a leverage because you can grow your money faster if you get the hang right. So after that, 99.99% businesses in small cap and mid cap, and because of the movement, the velocity they offer. So I've never looked there. So for me, leverage was buying a name that can move fast. So, which is how a small, like if you have a small account, now there will be an argument that they can drop also faster. Yes, for that you need a risk management, which in the first 6 months, 7 months, I would say, not even 6 months, I would say first 1 year, come to the market with the objective of surviving. Your objective should change your objective from making money to staying there. If you have stayed there after 1 year, even if you're 5%, 10% down, you have a lot of learnings. Read those learnings and you can improvise and grow from second year onwards. So leverage for me is small names.
For me, I started with just 50,000 rupees in the year 2000, and that I also burned. And then the initial amount was very small to start with. But I directly come to the answer of your question. That is, try to understand that first of all, it is very important that you need to stick to one thing to become a master of that thing. So I am assuming that we stick to one thing. We are doing a fixed strategy, only one thing, and now we want to excel it. So here we have two things. आपको speed, जो मानस ने कहा कि मुझे ऐसे स्टॉक चाहिए जो फास्ट रन करे, that is speed. There is ATR. तो even most of people here जिनको लगता है कि F&O में मुझे leverage मिलता है, but F&O के स्टॉक्स का ATR भी कम होता है. तो एक F&O का स्टॉक 20% मूव करने में 1 महीना लगाएगा, कैश का स्टॉक 2 दिन में बढ़ जाता है. दैट इज स्पीड. तो आपको लग रहा है कि मैं F&O में लेवरेज करके आप वहाँ पे अननेसेसरी रिस्क भी अपना इंक्रीज कर रहे हो. दैट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज आपका ATR कम ही है. मुझे हाई बीटा, हाई ATR स्टॉक्स में ट्रेड करना है, विद स्मॉल रिस्क ट्रेड करना है, और मुझे उसको उस स्पीड को टाइम के साथ मैनेज करना है. तो फॉर माई इनिशियल रिसर्च व्हाट आई डिड, आई यूज टू डू लॉट ऑफ BTST. मुझे ये प्लान करना होता था कि आज जो स्टॉक मैं लेके जा रहा हूँ कल 3% ओवर बिक सकता है कि नहीं बिक सकता है. अगर मैं उसे 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% ऊपर नेक्स्ट डे बेच पा रहा हूँ, and that is a BTST format. I am not saying कि ये that is a format. What is the format you develop for yourself? तो आपको टाइम और स्पीड दोनों को कॉम्बिनेशन में जब करोगे तो आप एक स्मॉल कैपिटल को फास्ट चर्न करके स्मॉल प्रॉफिट्स क्यूमुलेटिव फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड टाइम, जो मैंने सर ने कहा भी है कि लॉन्गर पीरियड टाइम यू कैन नॉट इमेजिन कि कितना % कंपाउंड हो सकता है. तो अगर आपको 5 लाख को 10 लाख बनाना बहुत आसान है कंपेयर टू 5 करोड़ को 10 करोड़ बनाना, बिकॉज वहाँ पे आपको चर्निंग जो जितनी फास्ट करनी है वो चैलेंजिंग रहेगी. तो छोटे कैपिटल को बड़ा बनाना आसान है. इट इज मोर ऑफ अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ स्पीड एंड टाइम जिसको आपको मैच करना है कैश मार्केट में.
This statement I've heard from some other people as well because you are very nimble with smaller capital. आपको liquidity का and order footprint का उसका कोई टेंशन लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, so you'll be able to grow much faster. But मैं आपसे सुनना चाहता हूँ विभोर भाई, तो आपको क्या लगता है, like is it better to trade with smaller capital?
फर्स्टली तो मेजॉरिटी या इक्विटी वालों की है, मेरे को अकेले ऑप्शन है हुआ है.
अरे आपके साथ मैं भी हूँ, आज ही लॉस करके आया मैं.
So considering the derivative market and specifically the option segment, the perspective is a little bit different than what we can have in the equity markets. Because derivative markets, firstly, it is a leveraged product. So if you are starting with 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, so your exposure in the market is by default higher than your original capital. That is point number one. Point number two, the volatility in derivative market, because of the nature of the product itself, it is high. So when you are starting into the derivative market, you are on a high risk side as compared to the equity market. So scaling up your fund or scaling up your exposure into derivative market, I believe it is a bit more challenging as compared to the equity market, right? But having said that, where the risk is high, by default the reward is also high, right? So we need to target the reward and mitigate the risk. So if anybody is starting with, let's suppose, 10 lakhs of capital, the first and foremost objective of anyone trading in derivative market with little capital is somehow try to survive in the market for some time. Try to gain that confidence from the market that being a risky asset class of derivative, we are able to survive in the market, we are able to protect our capital in the market, and it comes with a lot of practice, and it comes with having an edge in the market of what we are trying to trade, how we are hedging, how we are understanding the market sentiments and the market behavior, taking positions accordingly, doing money management accordingly. And once we reach to that particular level where we have that sort of confidence that at least I am not sure I can make money, but I am sure that I can, protect my capital in the market. Then at the second stage, it comes of how I can increase my exposure into the derivative market. And one more important thing over here is that derivative market, unfortunately, it is being considered as more speculative in nature. Right? So, like equity, if we have the same mindset in derivative market, where we try to earn less but consistent returns. So, that is one of the key aspects. So, there are 3 points. First is understand the risk of the asset class. Number 2, do not speculate. Hedge your positions properly. Number 3, very important, try to survive, and then gradually you can look forward to scale up the account size.
तो जनरली जब एक ट्रेडर स्टार्ट करता है, ही विल नॉट पुट हिज एंटायर नेटवर्थ इनटू हिज ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट. पहले जस्ट एक पायलट प्रोग्राम जैसे शुरू करता है. लेट्स से लाइक इफ समवन्स नेटवर्थ इज 50 lakhs or 60 lakhs, he would only put 10 lakhs into his account. Now once he gets that comfort, once he gets that confidence कि हाँ मैं ट्रेडिंग से भी पैसे कमा सकता हूँ, then he can bring in additional capital so that his business is kind of getting scaled. So when, in your opinion, should a person, let's say he starts with first tranche of his capital infused into the trading account, when should he infuse further capital? According to you, I'll go with Ashwin bhai first.
So I will go very quickly. Try to understand trading is a full-time business and किसी बिजनेस को अगर फुल टाइम देना है तो इट टेक्स 2-3 years. एक्सपीरियंस का अपना वैल्यू है. सब कुछ सीखने के बाद भी यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द इमोशंस जिसको आपको डेली बेसिस पे हैंडल करना है. और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो हम, क्योंकि हमारा टॉपिक है कि कैसे छोटी कैपिटल को बड़ा ग्रो करें, मेंटल मसल. टू डेवलप दैट मेंटल मसल यू नीड टू प्रैक्टिस. और जो इन्होंने 10 लाख से स्टार्ट किया है, उस 10 लाख में जब सक्सेस मिलना स्टार्ट होता है, देन ओनली यू विल डिप्लॉय द मनी. बट आई ऑल्सो बिलीव देयर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टुगेदर, बट आई ऑल्सो बिलीव कि पैसा मार्केट देता है. पैसा एक कंडीशन देती है. जो आप एक स्टाइल को प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो, वो प्रैक्टिस का जब मार्केट आता है, then only you leverage, you try to put whole your capital in the system. Otherwise, और वहाँ जब easy money बन रहा होता है, सबका बन रहा होता है, आपका नहीं, वहाँ आपको excel करना होता है. अगर एक एवरेज सबका easy money 10% बन रहा है, तो आप कैसे 15-20% उस मंथ में बना के निकल सकते हो, वो आपका टारगेट होना चाहिए. तो that is more or less, it's a combination of few things जो environment आपको create करता है for yourself also and market environment also.
मानस भाई, इन्होंने तो काफ़ी सब्जेक्टिव आंसर दिए. कैन यू क्वान्टिफाई इट? मतलब व्हाट इज़ द मेट्रिक? मतलब भाई, मैं अगर मेरा अकाउंट 10 लाख से शुरू किया, अगर ये डबल कर दिया तो देन आई विल से दैट लाइक आई हैव रीच्ड देयर एंड आई हैव अर्न्ड दैट प्रिविलेज टू ब्रिंग इन फर्दर कैपिटल टू स्केल अप माय बिजनेस. और व्हाट इज लाइक इफ समबडी हैज सीन एन एंटायर लाइफ साइकिल, एक मार्केट साइकिल को देखने के बाद उसको कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है, ओके आई हैव सर्वाइव्ड, आई हैव मेड मनी इन द बुल मार्केट एंड आई हैव सर्वाइव्ड द बेयर मार्केट, नाउ आई कैन ब्रिंग इन फर्दर कैपिटल. व्हाट इज दैट क्वांटिटेटिव मेट्रिक अकॉर्डिंग टू यू?
Okay, so if I'm starting out, and what I will do is I'll take few trades, probably 50 trades, and after that I will study those 50 trades and I will see what worked and what did not work, and we'll try to find out what are the common factors, if there is a pattern which really worked for me and a pattern which never worked for me. And then I do an incremental addition to my account. Let's say I'll add 10%. And so on, and after every 30-40 trades, you get better, you have more clarity. I can guarantee you here that if you take 50 trades, you will be at least a better version of what you are today, based on like whatever one strategy. If you take 50 trades, you will be a very, you will have more clarity. And then you add in 10% money to your account. Then, so 10% after that again. So you keep studying your trades and keep adding 10% after you feel that finally you are seeing a pattern where this pattern is really working for me. And what I will add is that whatever journal that you maintain, and you must maintain a journal because otherwise you will not be able to study what really worked for you, just remove the rupee column. Wherever it says you made 10,000, 50,000, 70,000, you lost 15,000, just remove that. Always talk in percent. You lost 1%, you lost 2%, you made 5%, you made 10%. With this, you can do progressive overload like you do in gym. You cannot lift 180 kg bench press from day one, you have to do slow. So go slowly, add 10% after every few trades and remove the rupee column so that your muscle is trained on only one metric, which is the percentage.
That was a great analogy. I personally liked it. बट विवेक भाई, कभी कभी ऐसे भी होता है कि मार्केट डायनामिक्स सूट्स योर ट्रेडिंग स्टाइल. फॉर एग्जांपल, इन अ रेजिंग बुल मार्केट, एवरी ब्रेकआउट ट्रेडर फील्स दैट ही इज द जीनियस पर्सन इन द वर्ल्ड. हर एक ब्रेकआउट सक्सेसफुल होता है, तो ही वुड हैव हैड 10, 15, 20 बैक टू बैक विनर्स. तो लेट्स से इसमें अगर वो इमोशंस में बह जाए और उसको मतलब इफ ही मेक्स द मिस्टेक ऑफ analyzing himself like way too soon, कि I've already arrived here because like last 15-20 trades have been winners, so let me bring in additional capital, let me just increase my exposure in the markets. How does one overcome this trap?
So first of all, again going back to my trading journey, when I started, I never evaluated myself based on how much profit or loss I'm making, because that was a time when I was establishing my processes, right? So I always had this 90-day rule, where every 90 days I'm reviewing myself, and those 90 days, whatever I have done, there is a report card in front of me, which is the trading journal. If anyone not doing trading journal, you don't deserve to be part of market, definitely. At least in your initial phase, अश्विन भाई ने भी जो कहा, अभी 2-3 साल का ये एक एजुकेशन है ये एक डिग्री कोर्स है मार्केट के साथ में, तो उसमें आप ट्रेडिंग जर्नली आपका रिपोर्ट कार्ड है जो आपको बता रहा है कि आप कहाँ तक पहुँच पा रहे हैं. सो माई एवरी 90-day review, and I used to give every trade a karma point that if I have followed my process, I'm giving one karma to myself. Even though I've lost money, it's fine. Market may not give you money, but market knows that this person is efficient and market will reward you over a period of time. If I am accumulating my karma point and I'm positive at the end of 90 days, I'm confident about myself and I'll think about increasing my capital allocation by 20-25% of what it was in the previous 90 days, right? Similarly, next 90 days, I will review myself. The quarter I am minus karma, that is the time I have to think kar kya raha hai. And then probably I have to reduce some capital ki nahi, I'm not doing the right thing, there is something wrong with me and I will have to review things again. I have followed this during my academics also. Throughout my academics, fortunately, I've gained some qualification and this 90-day rule I've followed every time. Any task, 90-day target. 1 year target nahi hai, 90-day target.
But Vivek bhai, in the end, every process has to kind of convert into an outcome, right? Some quantitative metric, जिसको देख के हमको समझ में आ जाए कि हाँ, ये जो process follow किया है, उससे मुझे कुछ ना कुछ positive return आ रहा है. But there are so many traders, when they start out, they'll start out with a certain process and they'll try to hone it, they'll try to refine it. But how do they know they are on the right path if they don't have a quantitative metric?
I agree to that. I'm not denying that you have to look at profitability, right? You have to look at the success percentage, etc. And if you're consistently for 2 quarters, your overall profitability is low, you are going back to your drawing board again, then why this is happening. But again, I'll give you an example. When I started, for first 6 months, I lost 2.5 lakh rupee. And imagine a situation where a qualified person staying unmarried, figuring out what to do, what will happen to my mind? My natural inclination will be, चलो वापस बॉम्बे चलो, फंड मैनेजर बनो, चलो वापस बॉम्बे चलो, ये काम का नहीं है. But because I knew that, as I said also in the interview, that I was a hard-working person, I was tracking my process, my performance, even though I was a loss, but I continued to do. And that one trade gave me the entire loss which I recovered. तो अगर आप पहला 1 साल 2 साल अपने प्रोसेस पे फोकस करें, नंबर्स देखना है बट नंबर सेकेंडरी कर दो, प्राइमरी आपका प्रोसेस होना चाहिए और आपको रिव्यू करते रहना पड़ेगा.
उस एपिसोड में भी आपने उस ट्रेड के बारे में ज़्यादा फोकस दिए थे कि दैट वाज काइंड ऑफ अ मेक और ब्रेक काइंड ऑफ अ ट्रेड एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ गेव यू द कॉन्फिडेंस टू टेक दिस फुल टाइम एंड यू नो व्हाटएवर ट्रांसपायर्ड आफ्टर दैट वाज बिकॉज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर ट्रेड. तो विभोर भाई, आपके लाइफ में भी ऐसे कुछ मून शॉट ट्रेड है? मतलब उस एक ट्रेड से मुझे कुछ चमका और मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया कि मैं इसको कंटिन्यू कर सकता हूँ, या इट वॉज लाइक अ ग्रेजुअल कॉन्फिडेंस दैट ग्रोन ओवर द ईयर्स?
Because I am dealing in risky asset class, so for me consistency and discipline is more important than making money in one particular trade. Right. So because that is one of the core component of the risk management while doing option trading, that the loss has to be minimal. And I would like to give a little bit more mathematical and quantitative response to what you asked. So what we do is that when we work on the data points to get some sort of strategies of what is the probability of making money from any XYZ strategy. So then there are alpha factors which is being measured by sharp ratios. Then there are drawdowns, because derivative drawdown is a very common thing which every trader faces in trading journey. And then there is one important thing, recovery factor. So recovery factor is, if I am going into losses, how much time it takes for me to recover from those losses and get my ledger into profit. Right? So for me, first maybe for 1 quarter is I take a very conservative approach. I deposit some profit. Then I take risk of those deposits for scale up. That is part number 1. That is a money management that I do. Second thing is that when we develop a system, so what we do is that how the system is actually performed in the market and how it was, defined or designed to perform in the market. So there is usually a gap. हम एक स्ट्रेटेजी बनाते हैं और उस स्ट्रेटेजी को कैसा परफॉर्म करना चाहिए था मार्केट के अंदर और कैसा एक्चुअली उसने परफॉर्म किया, जो डिफरेंस आता है यूजुअली लोग उसको स्लिपेज या इम्पैक्ट कॉस्ट कहते हैं, राइट? सो व्हेनेवर दिस स्लिपेज और इम्पैक्ट कॉस्ट कीप इंक्रीजिंग, maybe because of volatility in the market, maybe because of some unforeseen event in the market, so that is the time we need to take a pause, review the system, maybe we scale down, right? So because the system that we have defined should be well in line with the market sentiment in terms of the ROI that we are generating. So to scale up the system, the consistency and the mathematical parameters of drawdown and the recovery factor are very crucial factors to take a cover on when we can, scale up the account size.
I like to add, combining all the three things. इन्होंने बोला जनरल मेंटेन करना है, इन्होंने बोला कि एक स्पाइक चाहिए मुझे, एक ऐसा ट्रेड चाहिए, एंड ही सेड अबाउट ड्रॉडाउन. दिस ऑल थ्री थिंग्स आर कंबाइंड. सी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर आपको आप एक सिस्टम को आपने गलत ट्रेड से आपको एक स्पाइक मिल भी गया आपके प्रोसेस में, तो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि वो स्पाइक जो मिला है वो आपकी प्रोसेस से मिला हो, आप जो ऑलरेडी प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं उससे वो आपको प्रॉफिट आया हो. सेकंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि जनरल में आपने उसको चेक किया कि यार सक्सेसफुल ट्रेड्स मुझे ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं कंपेयर टू नेगेटिव ट्रेड्स. ऑब्वियसली वो जो मैट्रिक्स है बैटिंग एवरेज का उसको मेंटेन रखना है. एंड ही सेड अबाउट ड्रॉडाउन्स, तो मैं जो इक्विटी कर्व मेंटेन करने को हमेशा बोलता हूँ, अगर आप बार बार ज़्यादा लॉस में जा रहे हो, आप बार बार सिर्फ प्रॉफिट ही आपने लॉसेस को ही कवर करते रहे हो, तो आप स्केल अप कभी कर ही नहीं पाओगे. आप अपने लॉसेस को जितना कम रखोगे स्केलिंग में उतना ईजी होता है, क्योंकि इट इज़ मोर ऑफ मेंटल गेम. प्रॉफिट अट्रैक्ट्स प्रॉफिट. कॉन्फिडेंस हमेशा आप यहाँ कितना ज्ञान दे दो, जो कॉन्फिडेंस प्रॉफिट से आता है वो ज्ञान से नहीं आता है. तो पॉइंट ये है कि प्रॉफिट्स को हमेशा एक्यूमुलेट करते रहना बहुत जरूरी है टू बिल्ड दैट मेंटल मसल कि मैं बड़ा खेल सकता हूँ. पिच पे खड़े रहना है सक्सेसफुली, आउट होके नहीं. बार बार आउट हो रहे 10 रन में आउट हो रहे तो नहीं होगा, बट अगर आपको पिच पे खड़े रहना है तो आप कंसिस्टेंटली रन बनाते रहोगे तो चौके छक्के लग जाएंगे.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if a new trader is starting, I want the opinion from each one of you whether he should start as a discretionary trader or he should start as a purely mechanical system based trader.
डेफिनेटली आई एम अ डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर, तो मैं डेफिनेटली रिकमेंड करूंगा कि डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर ही होना चाहिए. दिस इज अ बिजनेस ऑफ मेंटल गेम और वहाँ मेंटल मसल डिस्क्रिशन में ही डेवलप होगी. मैकेनिकल के अपने चैलेंजेस है, तो अगर आप ऑप्शंस कर रहे हो तो देन यू कैन गो फॉर मैकेनिकल. आई डेफिनेटली एडवाइज. बट इक्विटीज़ को सक्सेसफुली पिछले 100 साल में हमने सक्सेसफुल ट्रेडर्स को डिस्क्रिशनरी करते देखा है, और मुझे लगता है अगले 100 साल भी इक्विटीज़ को सक्सेसफुली डिस्क्रिशनरी किया जा सकता है. यस, विथ AI एंड ऑल आप अपने स्क्रीनिंग में उसमें यूज़ कर सकते हो, बट डिस्क्रिशन का अपना ह्यूमन माइंड का अपना एक इम्पॉर्टेंस है जो हमेशा रहेगा, एंड इवन फॉर द स्केलिंग अप ऑल्सो.
तो मानस भाई, आपके ट्रेडिंग में भी देयर इज अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ सब्जेक्टिविटी इन्वॉल्व्ड.
It's rule based, but I would fully agree with him that I am also a discretionary trader, and I would like to add that if you, no disrespect to any mechanical system, but if you buy a mechanical system, a new person buys it, he doesn't have the mental capacity to follow it. You cannot sit through the drawdowns. He does not know how to sit through the drawdowns. So even if the system is performing, he will not be able to go through it if it starts with a loss. So you need to have that muscle memory, you need to have that maturity, you need to have that experience, and that comes with, at least I feel that, because I'm also a discretionary.
Muscle memory comes with repeatability. With repeatability, कितना एक चीज़ को आप बार बार रिपीट करोगे उससे मसल मेमोरी बनता है. बट हाउ डू यू इंट्रोड्यूस सब्जेक्टिविटी इनटू योर ऑब्जेक्टिव सिस्टम्स?
So when you do it like 100 times, you know that there is a gut involved in this business, by the way, which you develop only after you are like good. You survive on the, like he said, be on the crease, stay on the crease. By the time you are on the crease for like good years, you develop that gut, that intuition that you know that, and plus it's the setup you have been trading for years, so you know that this setup will work, and I'm going all in with a calculated risk, not like I will just put in all money with no stop. With the calculated risk, and it works, which I cannot pass on to anyone. That you can only develop with time.
So subjectivity is not in the process. Process is well defined. We are not. सब्जेक्टिविटी इज मे बी इन द सिलेक्शन कि मैं हमेशा बताऊँ चार्ट बात करता है, वो बात करना कब चालू करेगा?
Every trader has that X factor. तो विवेक भाई, आप तो you run prop desks and you have lot of traders under you. तो what is your observation? एक discretionary trader जल्दी profitable बन के जल्दी scale up कर पाता है या person who is mechanical and systematic in his approach?
So if we go back before pre-algo days in India, 2009 के पहले, obviously discretionary trader was dominating and there was price inefficiency. The probability of becoming a successful discretionary trader was very high, right? हम लोग, we were fortunate that we belong to that era from 2003 to 2008, that we were doing the right thing at the right time, okay? After algo system, things have absolutely changed, right? Now, because I run two firms, one is purely into algo trading, there are algo traders. There is a manual trading desk where there are manual traders. Algo trader doesn't do discretionary trading because from day one, the trader is diving inside the data sea and figuring out patterns, right? And the person is playing with data science techniques, probability, and trading. Algo trader is also successful, probably more successful than an average manual trader, right? And there are manual traders who also make a lot of money here because of the experience they have over last 10 years, 15 years. So if you ask a new guy, say, so if your question is, नया किसी को चालू करना है तो उसको क्या करना चाहिए? तो if you start as a discretionary trader, your time to success will be very high now, vis-a-vis it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But if you start as an algo trader, that path is very different. Your skill set requirement is very different. And because computer is assisting you in your decision making journey, it's easier to become. But obviously your revenue realization is far higher. The ARPU, the revenue per trader, is always higher in discretionary than in the algo, because the algo machine is doing a lot of things. So you are dependent on machine. So a large part of your gross profit goes to the machine. So a typical algo trading firm will share say 20-25% of the revenue with a trader, because the tech team is weak, right? So they have to be given a lot of money to continue having that kind of an algo system. But manual trading, your typical prop trading firms give 60-65% of the revenue sharing to that trader.
Who do you think would have a faster adaptability to changing market dynamics? Somebody like who relies upon the previous data set, or somebody like who's getting real-time ticks from the markets?
I don't think so. There is a clear-cut answer to this. It's so dependent on individual IQ, skill set. Obviously, machine trading will always tend to have more analytics because data only, no. You are just talking data, you are communicating with data all the time. But there are discretionary traders who are phenomenal and they read screen as if they are reading the data by like a machine. They're probably reading better than machine because their eye and their intellect coordination is so fast that they can see the pattern much faster than probably a machine can.
So Vibhore bhai, what do you prefer, like systematic trading or discretionary trading?
So I will rephrase the question. It sounds to me like humans are better, machines are better. And there is no perfect or correct answer to this. There could be instances when humans are better than machines. There could be instances where machines are far better than humans when it comes to processing time, amount of data, and all those things. So we say machines are better. See, trading is more about having a disciplined approach towards the market, and the discipline is more linked with the psychology or the mindset. You, as a fitness guy, you have that sort of discipline in your mind. So probably you could be a better discretionary trader. I am not a fitness freak. Probably my psychology is not that strong. So I need fixed set of rules to be put into the system and then repeat the profitable rules again and again, giving the market scenario to make money. So for me, defining the rules into the system and then letting the system to follow the discipline is more lucrative than probably for you it could be like because you are a disciplined guy. So you understand, you read the screens better as compared to machine. So you can switch the rules and then you have that strong mindset to be in the disciplined framework of your trading. So I would say there is no correct answer to whether it is discretionary trading is better or machine trading is better. The answer lies with the individual and how he understands the discretionary trading and the machine trading. Where his mindset, his psychology fits more.
Just want to add something here. Now the world is, if you want to scale up fast, your discretionary trading should be machine assisted. Yeah, because if you don't have a machine or a tool or a system which can make you a better, a faster trader, then obviously your discretionary trading cannot scale up. तो अगर आपको 50 लाख 1 करोड़ का कैपिटल से ट्रेड करना है तो probably you will continue to do believing your senses, okay? But अगर आपको 5 करोड़ 10 करोड़ का कैपिटल मैनेज करना है तो you need those machines who can help you in that prudent decision making.
Absolutely. So, can I summarize saying that an average machine is better than an average human, but a skilled human is always better than an average machine? So, it was a fantastic session with all you guys, and I hope the viewers would have got a lot of value with this candid discussion. Thanks a lot for doing this, and we'll take 2 or 3 questions max from the audience.
So this is regarding the last discussion which we just had about discretionary and machine trading. In my opinion, if you don't practice discretionary, you cannot be on the machine. So you have to practice for a few years, then only the machines will come. And as per the London School of Economics and other big business schools of the world, still this is not a scalable business, and no big company is doing options trading. It's going on at a small scale, little mediocre scale, not on a very high organized scale because it's not scalable by any kind of upgradation. That is the thinking of, I think, the London School of Economics and some other business schools. So in my opinion, we are not a matured option trading platform in the world. We are still going ahead, slowly and gradually, and learning more and more and more and devising more and more, finding out the adjustment procedures right now also. It's going to take some time that those algo systems will take over completely, and then we can call it as a scalable business. So my view is that everybody should be put on the discretionary system for a few years to develop algos for the future and for the complete perfect system. That's my view.
Let me add something here. At times, maybe a limited knowledge helps you to believe that this is right or this is wrong. Because I read a lot and I run a prop desk, so I have to read what other people are doing globally. Almost 75 to 80% of volume in US market is by algo trading. Okay, prop trading firms who have taken algo trading using machine learning to trade for the last 5 years, and the kind of money they have made. Some is sitting in Noida, some are in Gurgaon, one of them in Bangalore, is unheard. You can't think that 3-4 IITians starting a startup trading desk in the last 5 years making that kind of a money. I'm not refuting you totally, but please do consider that other side also, that right now in this world there is a coexistence of discretionary trader and algo trading, right? The point only is that if you are building a career, you want to think 5 years what will happen, 10 years what will happen, will I survive, right? My only submission here is, do not only remain a discretionary trader, because the number of people who will be successful as a discretionary trader, right, that number in percentage terms will keep on going down. I'm not saying it will become zero. There will be exception talent like Ashwin Bhai, who will continue to remain a discretionary trader and still make a lot of money because that's a gift which he has. But that percentage is going down, it will keep on going down. You have to embrace algo or systematic trading or whatever you want to do, because the world has already done it. And to know more about it, please do read the annual reports of Citadel, Jump Trading, because these guys have done that in international markets and they are already started doing that in Indian market.
Well, I'm not against algo. After putting in about 4 years of discretionary trading in the options, I am also shifting to algo. It is not that I am against it, but what I want to say is it is must for everybody to be on discretionary option trading for a few years, so that he can write machines, he can write language, he can put it in the algo. So that's what I wanted to convey. That the beginning platform has to be discretionary for quite 3 to 4 years, because no options book can make anybody as option trader. Only practice can make it.
As an individual option trader, I totally agree. But as I said that we run an algo trading firm where the guy who we onboard, we don't make them discretionary trader at all. We start their learning journey as an algo trader where there is no discretion. From day one, button yahan hai, button yahan hai, button yahan hai. That's it. And they still become very successful trader vis-a-vis discretionary trader. So as an individual, all of us, your statement is perfect और हम लोग सबको डिस्कशन से चालू करना चाहिए, बट जितना जल्दी हम उसको इवॉल्व कर लेंगे उतना हमारे लिए अच्छा रहेगा.
मैं विवेक भाई ने जो कहा ना, मैं उसको वैलिडेट करूंगा. आई एम द वन हु स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम कोलकाता इन 2009 इन algo trading, and my first trade in stock market was through algo. Until date, all my trades are purely mechanical, 100% algo. So I have never been into discretionary trading. So just to validate what.
बट विभोर भाई एंड विवेक भाई, हिज पॉइंट इज अगर एल्गोस के लिए हमको रूल्स बनाना है, उस रूल्स को कैसे बनाए फ्रॉम अ डिस्क्रिशनरी एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द मार्केट्स. मतलब अगर यहाँ पे खरीदना है, यहाँ पे सेल करना है, व्हेन आर दोज रूल्स मेड, हाउ डू यू फीड दोज रूल्स टू अ मशीन? दोज रूल्स विल बी गिवन बाय अ डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडर, राइट? Even if it's a firm, somebody would have placed all those SOPs in place. Am I right?
You're absolutely right, and that was the only concern, that the beginning has to be discretionary, followed by that.
Actually, we probably have to define the term discretionary, because maybe you are using it in a different way, I'm using it in a different way. For me, discretionary is that my mind is interpreting data and finding patterns, right? And acting on it. So technically there is a rule which is going inside my mind, no? उसमें आप इमोशन का तड़का डाल दिए तो वो आपको डिस्कशन दिख रहा है. मशीन में इमोशन का तड़का नहीं है तो वो रूल ड्रिवेन हो गया. अदरवाइज काम तो सब रूल ड्रिवेन ही कर रहे हैं. तो प्योर algo ट्रेडिंग में, अगेन रिपीटिंग, प्योर algo ट्रेडिंग में ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आपको डिस्क्रिशनरी ट्रेडिंग करना होगा.
So on this note, guys, I would like to end this session, and I thank each one of you for being here. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Please read the risk disclosure documents carefully before investing in equity shares, derivatives, mutual fund, and or other instruments traded on the stock exchanges.